heat treating a blade for a bolo knife. I heat the thing up until it's cherry red, then I'll check it with the magnet. It's sticking up right there. If it's no longer magnetized, then it goes into the quenching tank of oil. Testing it with a magnet, it's no longer magnetized. Fire off, grab the big tongs, cherry red. Military ammo can makes a good quench tank, I should say. This is cooling off the metal. I've got used engine oil in here. Come on, go out. That's good, Lewis. After heat treating the blade and then quenching it in oil, it's going to get a film of black carbon on it. So I'm going to use a cordless drill with a bronze brush, not the steel, but the bronze brush, just to remove the carbon from it. You have to get all the carbon off of the handle area also, so that the epoxy for the scales will stick properly. My wife and I went to the Philippines earlier this year, and I brought this template with me. This is a Bolo knife from the JEST School, or a template from one of the original knives from the school. I had my brother-in-law take it to several Bolo knife makers and get blades, just the blades made for me. These 5 have been heat treated already, these 4 haven't. And the final product is going to be this up here. Let me back off a little bit. I've got the correct water buffalo horn handles and monkey pod cases, or case. And that's what they're all going to look like when they're finally finished. What I'm doing now is cutting the holes for the pins into the handle, which I've got taped down here. Okay, turn that off. Pull this one out. Pull this one out. I'll stick a pin temporarily in there just to keep the alignment. I'm using an extra piece of the handle to keep the blade straight so it's not canted when I'm drilling. Line this up, slide this over here. Clamp 1, clamp 2. Bone smells funny when you're drilling it. Almost through. Okay, that's good. Good. So I've got the pinholes in the handle, but right now if I put the handle up to the Bolo, it's just a little bit too thick to grip. So what I'm going to do is use the bandsaw, take off about 200 thousandths off of this. I've already got the fence already set up. I've got 2 pins in place, temporarily holding the handle in position so it doesn't move. Get ready to drill the 3rd hole. That'll be it. I've got the handle taped on here while I drill the holes out. The pins that we're going to be using are 3/8 of an inch. I had to use a letter W drill bit to drill the holes. The letter W is 7/1000 of an inch larger than a 3/8. And if you look how it fits, there's like 0 space. It fits in there perfect. I've got the handle epoxy to the Bolo. I've got temporary pins holding in place. Just pull these out, because if I don't pull them out now, I'll never get them out. Then I'll let this thing sit overnight until tomorrow. This is how far I've progressed on the Bolo knife. Yesterday I took the clamps off. Handle's on here nice and good. What I did then was take my cordless drill and the letter W bit, ran it through the holes to get any epoxy that was still in the holes out so that, you know, the pins could go in. Then what I did was I took I've got a tapered reamer that I used. Many people, when they're peening pins in, they'll just use a countersink bit and just cut the top here. And then when they peen it, just this top mushroom portion's holding it in. With the tapered reamer, it goes further down, so when you peen it, the whole pin spreads out and fills in the entire thing. I learned this from a different knife maker. The epoxy I'm using is called G-Flex. And my pins, now the aluminum rod is really smooth. Now the epoxy will stick to it, but I'm afraid it'll eventually come loose. So what I've done is I've taken my pins and I use my Dremel tool and I cut little notches in it. And what I'm going to do is use a Q-tip, fill in the little holes, and then put it into the handle. I was thinking if I just put the epoxy in the handle and put the pin in, these little notches would probably still have air in them, which is a weak point. So I'm going to use a Q-tip, put the epoxy in there, and then put it in there. I'm only going to work on 1 pin at a time, because my luck, if I did all 3, with the epoxy, and then I started peening the first one, I know these other 2 would drop out. So I'm going to epoxy 1 and then peen it in place, and then work on the other 2. I got my anvil right there, and I've got this. This is a ancient ball peen hammer. It says braid 3/4, so it's probably 3/4 of a pound, and it's stamped 1773 on the other side. Now I thought that was possibly the year it was made, but doing some search online, apparently that's the model number, not the year it was made. So I'm gonna turn the phone off and get to work on this and see how it works out. Yesterday, after I took the clamps off the handle, I needed to sand the edges off. I had a spare piece of a handle that I had. I tried using my Dremel rotary tool to do that. It didn't work good at all. Wound up using 2 files and filed it by hand. Spent about an hour and a half filing the handles to get it the way I wanted it. So I just finished peening the first pin, almost completely flush on this side. Same thing on the other side. Actually came out pretty damn good. Now on to the next one. All 3 pins are in. I've got just a little bit of excess on top, which I'll wait until tomorrow, let all the epoxy harden. Then I'll take the file and file them down smooth. That'll be another Bolo done.